We're going to react to the Black Widow trailer. Jesus Christ. Very nervous about this character. Could be the first big L that Marvel Rivals has. We'll see, though. Let's go ahead and pull this up. All right, we've got the Black Widow Super Spy Sniper character reveal for Marvel Rivals. Let's give this a watch.
Widow standing by. Target neutralized. The Widow's bite is lethal. Hit them till they don't get up. You can rest now, Bucky. No way to miss now. Plasma burst!
First person view there, by the way.
Widow style.
So, Jesus Christ. All right, a couple things. Some really interesting notes to start. One, right here. It looks like they do support, like, some kind of first person.
No way to miss now.
Look at this, ready?
Plasma!
So, like, when she pulls out her ult, it goes to first person. So there's a chance that for some characters, it's not out of the realm of possibility that you could get first person POV or some kind of toggleable option. I do think this game is best played in third person, but I guess on some hit scan characters or shooter characters, it could work. So a couple things. I talked about this on Twitter extensively last night. Really scary, right? Really scary. To be fair, let's make the differences as to why she won't be as broken as Widowmaker is right now in Marvel Rivals. One, it's 6v6 open queue, meaning you do have more comp options to counter snipers. You can run triple tank, dive tanks, right? You can run different comps. Like the biggest reason my Widow's gotten so OP in 5v5 is one, it's roll lock. So like one of the easiest ways to counter snipers back in the days, you'd run like a quad tank comp. Like when we played Envy in Contenders, when we came out in double sniper, they swapped off goats and just ran Lucio Moira quad tank with a bunch of shields and barriers. And the snipers were like, we had to swap. There was no way to play the sniper comp into that. We had to switch. So you can run the tankier comps. On top of that, just like having it there be 6 players on the map, there's a little bit less spacing for her to have. There's characters and like dive characters, particularly in Marvel Rivals, are also much more mobile, like a Spider-Man or even Black Panther to some degree, Iron Fist. Like there's more options to close the distance in Marvel Rivals than there is in Overwatch consistently. So hopefully that'll help. That being said, the supports in Marvel Rivals also had an easier time healing than original Overwatch supports. So the peelability is there. The key thing is, though, it looks like her damage is not what... It kind of looks like it is, but it's really not. So look at these damage thresholds really quick. So when this Iron Man might be low. That either was a headshot or he was low. The headshot might be a one-shot. I assume the headshot's a one-shot. But she shoots Black Panther in the shoulder, and it only does a certain amount of damage. So maybe it's headshot only, but look at this one right here. She does have a kick and like a grapple stun. So, like, it looks like in the body, it's not a one-shot. But in the head, it might be. So I'm going to say this right now. I absolutely see this hero as going to be problematic. 100%. It's the most volatile design out. I would really have liked to see them try like doing like damage over time with poisons or something with Black Widow and have it be themed around like the Black Widow, a spider or something like that. There also are hero bans in Marvel Rivals. Like, dude, like guys, like I'm just telling you this right now. Out the gate, Marvel Rivals has more features than Overwatch 2 has after 8 years of development. It's got a tournament feature. It's got a clan feature. It's got the replay system. It's got hero bans in the live game. it's got a cast of equal size. They absolutely cooked. Her headshot isn't a one-shot. Dev confirmed it in their Discord. Okay, if the headshot's not a one-shot, then this hero will not be as problematic. Thank God. And listen, this I do like. Listen, this is not the Blizzard devs we're talking about. To give the Marvel Rivals dev team credit, they have been incredibly responsive on pretty much all of these things, which is really impressive. So this will be very funny to see how Marvel approaches balance. And if they do it right, it will go to show you that Blizzard did, in fact, handle their balance horribly. So I will say, based on the responses that I've seen, and we'll see how it ages, right? It's a marathon here. It's not a sprint. The Marvel dev team has been super receptive. They've tackled issues quickly. When Magneto was broken in the beta, he got hit down really, really fast. And it seems like if she doesn't one-shot in the head, that she actually won't be a problem. But I think given how broken Widowmaker is, it's a great opportunity for Marvel Rivals to get their foot in the door and attempt the design types that Blizzard has attempted, but do them better. This is a huge, like, listen, I'm a huge Widowmaker hero or hater. This is a huge opportunity for them to send a message. If they hammer this and get it right before Blizzard gets it right, it's gonna set like, and here's the thing. I know a lot of people have come out, a lot of people have had a lot of different takes about what these two IPs are gonna do to each other. Let me recap this briefly. One, their competition. One is not going to kill the other, but they can do a dent. I think this game is gonna take a huge chunk of Overwatch, and it will slow down Overwatch's business. Undoubtedly. How much? I don't know. Two, the winner here is the consumer, regardless of which game you prefer. When there's actual competition in genre, the companies have to put out a better product to win over the customer, excuse me. So at the end of the day, all of us are winners, regardless of which one you prefer. It's a huge win. Having options is a huge win. Huge win. Huge win for everybody. It's great. We're winning finally in this genre after really 4 to 5 years of getting picked off, kind of waiting for Overwatch 2. You know, we're the consumer's finally going to be able to come first. 3, anybody doubting in the there's a lot of cope coming from Overwatch fans. Well, this is, I don't want to blanket statement the Overwatch players. There's a lot of voices who are very dedicated to Overwatch who cope about how good this game is going to be. On launch, this game is better than current Overwatch 2, and it's not close. It's not close. Marvel Rivals on its launch is significantly better than Overwatch 2 because they don't have super tanks. Super tanks and 5v5 were the two biggest net mistakes that Blizzard has made in Overwatch history. Easily. Not even close. Worst design decisions of all time. Absolutely horrible. Shows that they never understood why GOATs and Double Shield were hated so much. And even now, 4 years later, from the first Double Shield comps, the same design principles that made the game unfun are being applied in a different way. So, you know, Overwatch is going to have to learn its lesson, which I'm really, really, really excited to see have happen. Now, Marvel is going to have its problems. We'll see how they tackle them. I think that if it's going to be open queue, they need to add the global regen passive. I would love to see how open queue functions with the global regen passive, so when you get those 5-4 DPS comps, that the game is actually still playable. It's interesting. It opens up the door for a lot of different comps to get played. They nerfed tank HP across the board for launch. Did they really? Dude, the Marvel devs are cooking. The Marvel devs are cooking. Guys, the Marvel Rivals developer team is about to put Team 4 on notice. I think this game kills Paladins but competes with Overwatch. Depending on how the Marvel Rivals dev team performs, if they do what needs to be done in this genre, it will expose the Overwatch team. At least the balance team. And because, look, the Overwatch balance team has been that bad for that long. They've not been good for a very long time. Very, very long. Since its inception, they've not really been great. So if Marvel Rivals team comes up and nails it, What's the excuse? Unfortunately, what's left of the Overwatch community, and I'm just, you know what? I'm going to say it how it is. This is just what it is. All of the big voices that are left, their main goal is to not be constructive, but to be neutral. It's just a job for them. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Every big voice that used to care about this game left. The people that are left, and there's nothing wrong with this whatsoever, are in it for content creation. So they never come out and call it for what it is, like to the degree it needs to be called out. Like Super Tanks are abysmal game design. Complete and utter failure. The PvP side of Overwatch 2 is also a complete and utter failure. None of the design goals were achieved. Zero. How do I have more player agency if there's a tank I literally can't beat and I have to play Dead by Daylight to run away from him? That's not more player agency. How many heroes lost? I can name more heroes that lost their identities than heroes that gained their identities in the hero shooter genre. No, I'm not naming any specific creator. I'm just talking about what the ecosystem's like in general. And that's and by the way, to be completely clear with you, that's not a shot at anybody. I want to make that clear. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being neutral. Nothing wrong with it. I hate the idea that people say, "Oh, well, content creators have to take a stand on this stuff." No, they don't. No, they don't. Why would they? It's silly. It's silly. It's their business. They want to protect their business, and there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. I think it's silly. I think it's really, really silly. But again, people have either checked out and given up or are protecting their own interests, which is fine. Which is fine. There's just no passion in that scene anymore, in my opinion. Marvel's got a chance to blow this thing open and hopefully strip away the excuses. Strip away the excuses. No nonsense, no bullshit. Just get after it. And that's what's so exciting about this game. The heroes are brilliant. They've done an amazing job. And honestly, after seeing more on Black Widow, I'm not nervous about her. If she doesn't one-shot and she's got some of these other options, I hope they make it work because it will prove I'm right about Widowmaker. And I cannot wait for this game to come out, and I cannot wait to see what these devs do. I hope they nail it. And you know what the irony is, guys? Everybody was giving NetEase shit, and this could age like milk if they walk this back, but based on what they've said so far, oh, they have predatory monetization, they do this wrong, they do that wrong. And yet, when you put Overwatch 2 head-to-head with Marvel Rivals, Overwatch 2 had the predatory monetization. Overwatch 2 did not deliver on its promises for PvE. Overwatch 2 did not deliver on its promises for PvP either. Overwatch 2 is still catching up to the systems that were in Overwatch 1. Marvel Rivals, same cast size, needs more tanks and supports. Marvel Rivals, every hero is going to be free forever. Marvel Rivals, replay system, clan system, tournament system, hero bans, rank system done. Open queue for queue times, which will lead to some other problems. When you put these games head to head, Marvel Rivals is more of a sequel to Overwatch than Overwatch 2 is. Innovative abilities, different ways, like the abilities in Marvel Rivals are way more innovative than what they are in Overwatch. It took Overwatch and expanded on it. Marvel Rivals is the best hero shooter to come out since Overwatch. And then they globally nerfed tank health pools and compensated with damage, making the tanking more like Overwatch 1 tanking with a better gameplay loop. This game is going to make waves. And if you aren't on notice, get on notice now. Because wake up, Overwatch. You've been stumbling around for years without real competition. You can't really pretend as if Marvel didn't already have the 10 years of history that Overwatch to not make those mistakes. Overwatch didn't have a predecessor like that. I don't need 10 years of knowledge to know that super tanks are a horrible idea. I'm sorry. I don't. There were years of League having hero bans. We asked for hero bans from Blizzard, and they gave us hero pools. There's tons of history that Overwatch could have drawn on. The reality is, Overwatch fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. How many excuses are we going to keep making for Overwatch? Stop. Stop making excuses. Stop it. You got to stop. Because they won't change if you keep making excuses. Like, it's not just that, oh, well, Overwatch didn't have the knowledge. You have to understand, Blizzard did this to Overwatch by design. They wanted to make the game easier. That was Kaplan's vision. They wanted to make PvE. Mistake. They laid out the PvP goals for Overwatch 2, flipped them when they realized the game didn't achieve them, and then doubled down and made it worse. So, like, that's a ridiculous argument. And this game's been in development since, like, 2019, 2020. They had the same 4 to 5... They had 4 years of Overwatch 1. Justify Overwatch 2's mistakes to me. So, again, you can say that as much as you want, but guys like me and a bunch of other Overwatch players whose heroes had amazing gameplay loops but lost their identity, like Genji, lost a ton. Venture would be way more playable. Hanzo is still shit. Doom's a tank. And playing tank sucks. They've got a lore advantage. They've got a gameplay loop advantage. They've got a queue time. Let me break this down. They've got a lore advantage. They've got a queue times advantage because they're open queue. They've got a gameplay loop advantage. They've got the fresh new game advantage. Look, this is a perfect storm for them to make waves. We'll see how they start. They've got a systems advantage. Like, the ball is in Marvel Rivals' court for the first time in Overwatch's life. The ball is not in their court anymore. And that means it's going to be good for the player. So, yeah, I'm excited to see it. Marvel, you're cooking. I can't wait to play. Great job, guys. We're rooting for you. The better Marvel Rivals does, the better Overwatch will be to all you Overwatch fans out there. Okay. I'm excited. Let's do it.